OSU Buckeyes lost another assistant coach yesterday when it was announced that offensive line coach Justin Frye will be joining the Arizona Cardinals as their next offensive line coach. He will be reunited with former Buckeyes Marvis Harrison Jr. and Paris Johnson, currently on the Cardinals. The Cleveland Cavaliers will take on the Dallas Mavericks this afternoon at 3:30. The Cavs are currently on a 3-game winning streak. Speaking of the Mavs, last night, shortly after midnight, the Dallas Mavericks and Los Angeles Lakers agreed to a trade that will send Luka Doncic and 2 other players to the Lakers, and Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick to the Mavericks. Luka Doncic helped lead Dallas to the NBA Finals for the first time in 13 years last season. The OSU men's basketball team will face off against Illinois at 1 p.m. We will have pregame coverage starting at noon following the fan call-in show. And the Columbus Blue Jackets will take on the Dallas Stars tonight at 6 p.m. The CBJ have won 3 games in a row and 4 of their last 5.
From ONN, this is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle, joined by Scotty Vegas, producer Cam Taylor at the controls. Scotty, you know, if we're leading off with NBA talk, it has to be something big. I seriously thought it was a joke when I saw Luka was traded for Anthony Davis. I'm like, this can't be, and other assets as well. But I was like, this can't be real. Is this April Fool's Day or is this Groundhog's Day? But it's real. I don't know if it's spectacular. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. You know, what's funny is a friend of mine, in fact, a friend of our show, Moneyline Mark, texted me at about 7:30 in the morning, and he's like, hey, I think it's time to get some Lakers bets in. And I'm waking up to that, and I'm like, what? I'm like, really? I mean, why? And then I open it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So yeah, the big trade, Luka heading to the Lakers. So I did decide, okay, I'm in. I decided to do a little 2-way parlay, a championship parlay, Dave. And I want to get your opinion because you're more of an NBA guy than I am. But I decided to do Duke to win the national championship in basketball and the Lakers to win the NBA championship. And I got the Lakers at 21-1. And I've kind of shopped around, looked at a lot of different places, and it's lower than that at most places. So I got 21-1. And if you look at the West, you look at the standings in the West, it feels like it's relatively wide open. I know Oklahoma City is the favorite, but the Lakers are right there. I want to get your opinion as more of an NBA guy than I am, but I've got the Lakers and Duke as my parlay.
It's interesting because like my first reaction was I don't really think they have a legit chance of winning the title. Then you say, well, they do have LeBron and Luka on the same team now.
Right.
Now I know it's 40-year-old LeBron, but still, I mean, he's definitely dropped off a little bit. He's still playing at a very high level, so I don't know, man. But there's like reports now. Of course, Luka's getting trashed in Dallas now on his way out the door. They're like, "Oh yeah, he was fat." We knew he was a little out of shape, but there's reports now that he was like up to 270 pounds. I saw somebody just tweet. They're like, "We need him on the Bengals on the offensive line." I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, so yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that turns out. But you know, Scotty, we're still less than 2 weeks removed from Ohio State winning the national championship game. People keep asking me, well, what do you think of Justin Frye leaving? I'm like, it's okay. Yeah. Who won the national championship? You know, and I was there and it was really cool. And I want to present to you confetti. There's 3 different types of confetti. This is packed.
Yes.
Okay. So there you go, sir. This is confetti from the celebration on the field at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I got to touch it.
And it's going to like pop out at you, so be careful. But there's 3 different types of, there was the gold streamers, there was the scarlet and gray paper confetti, and then when Ohio State got to raise the national championship trophy, they dropped different confetti, which was in the form of the college football playoff, which I really think they did a good job with the college football playoff logo. So there you go. There's your confetti, sir.
This is terrific. This is fantastic. So the funny story about this is I told you the week before that I don't necessarily need a ton of like memorabilia or program or pictures or anything. I want the confetti that actually falls to the ground. And my good friend Dave, you brought me back a lot. A full jar full of confetti.
It's packed in there nice.
That hit the floor in Atlanta when Ohio State won it all. This is terrific. I actually do, and here's the cool thing. This is what made me think of it. Is in 2014 when Ohio State won the national championship, Anthony Rothman was over there covering it, and at the last minute, I'm watching the celebration, and I see the confetti coming down, and I text Anthony, and I didn't think that he would actually get the text because he was, a lot going on after you win a national championship. And I just said, hey, if you could just scoop me up a little bit of that confetti, that'd make me a very, very happy man. And he did. And so I still have that. What is it, 10 years later?
Yes.
10 years later. And so what my thought process was, Dave, you're going down to Atlanta. When Ohio State beats Notre Dame, I want some confetti. And you brought me back a nice big jar of it. Thank you very much. This is going in the man cave.
Good. I love your man cave, and you're very welcome, sir. And I tried to get you some field turf, too. They had that thing really sewed in. I'm not joking.
Did you really?
I swear to God.
Oh,
a couple
man.
different places. I could feel the security looking at me. I'm like, I'm going to see if I can just rip one of these out. They had that sewed in really good. This wasn't like the field turf that's been there for like 15 years, like on a high school field. You can just kind of like... No, it was sewed in there really good. So I try to get you a little field turf too. But
how about the jar too? You had a perfect jar for the confetti as well.
Thank you. Yes, very very expensive jar that I bought on Amazon for like $5 or
Did
something
you?
like that.
That's
very cheap.
That's awesome.
Very cheap.
What a great present.
Very cheap.
You know what? Sunday morning, I'm already very happy now that I've got my confetti.
So we're going to go through a lot of stuff. We're going to talk more about Ohio State. Yeah, they do have some. Some replacements to make here. Both, I mean, they're going to have 3 returning starters on defense, new defensive coordinator. Now they're going to have a new offensive line coach. We're going to get into all that, but we're still going to bask in the glow of the national championship. And we're going to look at college football betting odds. We're going to bring in Noah Kirk, the director of the ESPN Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. Scotty and I are going to be out there next week for a watch party. We have our doubleheader. We have our regular show 9 to 11 next Sunday. Nothing changes. And then we have our show at the casino from 5 to 6. Do I have that right? Then we have our watch party for the Super Bowl.
That is dead on. And the great thing is, I like to call it a nice little day-night doubleheader, right?
Yes.
So we'll be out doing our regular show in the morning here from the station, and then you're right, we will be out at the casino at 5, and then we don't just throw a party. We throw a huge party. Like for the Super Bowl, we are going all out. All kinds of huge prizes that we're going to be giving away. We're going to have our footballs. You know, one of the funny things about doing these watch parties, and we're throwing these footballs out, is I love watching these grown-ups try and make these spectacular, like Jeremiah Smith type catches.
Right, diving on tables. We're going to get somebody hurt. Running into each other.
At some point, we're going to have an injury.
We're going to have to get like the ambulance out there, I think. You know, like in football games, they have the ambulance just waiting there, you know, just in case. We should probably have that. There's been like near collisions, grown men running over like older women like that. Like, we're going to have to throw a penalty flag. No, sir, you can't do that. You have to give it to her. Like,
I've got a penalty flag at home. I think I'm going to bring it for this coming Sunday. The other thing, too, is if a ball does hit the ground, right, we throw these footballs out. They have player names on it. If the player scores a touchdown, you win some big prizes. So everybody tries to go all out for it. But if the ball hits the ground and it's a fumble and you've got like people diving under tables, it's quite the sight to see.
Yes, and they're not diving on a nice, like recovering a fumble on a nice field turf, like at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They're diving on hard wooden floors.
It's wild.
It's we really should be careful. Nah, let's just keep doing it.
No, it's fun to watch.
It really is fun. We should probably actually videotape it. Did I say videotape? Did I just go back to the 1980s right there with videotape?
I believe you did.
Jeez. It does feel like the national championship game was like, it does feel like it was more than 13 days ago, doesn't it?
It does.
Just so much has happened. But like, I keep saying, like, it's not that I don't care that Jim Knowles left. Of course I care. It's not that I don't care that Justin Frye. I care. But I'm like, don't care adjacent, because what I care about is the national championship. That banner's going to fly forever.
Well, you and Bucknuts do such a good job covering the team as a whole. So I know you've been really busy over the last couple weeks. So I can't wait now. And I know we're talking national championship, but people are keeping an eye on next year. So I do want to get from you, when we come back, I want to get from you some names on who you believe might make sense for the offensive line coach and for the defensive coordinator. So, I know you've been studying through this. You've got a list, all that good stuff. I can't wait to hear who you believe is the guy.
A little D coordinator hot board and a little O-line coach hot board. All right, that's going to come up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on The Money. On The Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you. Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke. Well, it was a hard-fought campaign. Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia. Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch. Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now. Only at Great Lakes Kia. Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months. Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third row seating, don't we? And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke. Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia. But what about credit? Come on, man. If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day. Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Plus tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
What a great Sunday morning already. It's only 9:15, and I am in a fantastic mood. And the reason why is my good buddy Dave here went on the field at the national championship and brought me some confetti. And it's great, too. There's streamers, there's gold streamers, there's little red paper. But my favorite part is the little football-shaped confetti that says 2025 with the college football playoff logo in it as the zero. So very, very cool. I'm so excited about it. And I'm also excited for next year because guess what, guys? The Buckeyes are the betting favorite. Ohio State is plus 450 to win the national championship. Texas 5-1, Georgia 6-1, Oregon plus 750, Penn State plus 750. And we might want to just stop right there because there's a trend in college football where you have to have single-digit odds going into the season to win the national championship. That's just been the trend over the last decade. But we are looking forward to next year. Let's talk a little bit about some news for Ohio State this week, which, of course, we know about Jim Knowles. That came down last Sunday, right after our show. Jim Knowles heading to Penn State. And then, obviously, now Frye going to the Cardinals opens up the offensive line coaching position. Now, Dave, you do a spectacular job covering this team for Bucknuts and for the Fan. But I want to know from you kind of a short list of names that you are expecting Ohio State to go after as far as a defensive coordinator and offensive line coach.
It's so interesting, Scott, because I hear there's two possibilities here. They could promote from within, and it would be a situation where Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri would be co-coordinators, and they would bring in someone from the outside to maybe, be D-line coach in waiting, so to speak. That could be a possibility where you bring in like an assistant D-line coach to fill that final coaching void. And for continuity purposes, you go with Guerreri and Tim Walton. People are probably screaming, no, don't promote from within. I hear you. But what did Ryan Day say about Guerreri at the national championship celebration?
Yep.
I mean, that was, and he didn't just say one thing. He said he is a rising star in the profession, and he said one of the brightest minds in college football. He's 35, and I've heard nothing but good things about him. And when I've talked to him, he does have that feel of like, okay, I'm talking to a future head coach. I've talked to enough coaches over the years. You just get the feel, okay, this guy's a future head coach, right? He did call the defense at Indiana in 2023. Indiana was not good that year, but he was 33 years old calling the defense in the Big Ten. So called the defense at Duke. He was a co-defensive coordinator, but called the defense at Duke at the age of 31. So I believe in Guerreri, but I also hear people talking about, well, how about bringing somebody from the outside? Like Pitt's defensive coordinator has been brought up. He's 64 years old, and people are like, well, that's too old. That's 4 years older than Jim Knowles. It's not really that old. And Pitt's defense has been very good. I don't know. I trust what Ryan Day is going to do here. He's done, other than the Kerry Combs hire, which I know he regrets, he's done a very good job bringing in coaches. Look what he did with Knowles. I know people are upset about the Knowles situation. What I say to that is Knowles was brought here to do exactly what he was brought here to do. I mean, he accomplished what he was brought here to do. Best defense in the nation, national championship, and now he goes back to his home state. He grew up a Penn State fan. So I don't know. I think that I tell you what, Scotty, if you put a gun to my head right now, I'd be a little upset that you'd put a gun to my head. But I would say, though, probably because there's a lot of smoke. I was on Morning Juice, Bobby was on Rothman and Ice when I was filling in. I'm on Morning Juice so much I'm getting confused. And Bobby's kind of thought that it was going to be that co-coordinator, and Bobby's pretty tied in, and I've heard that as well, that's a strong possibility. So I would probably guess that would be the direction Ryan Day goes, but I'm sure he's considering outside candidates. So there you go with defense. That's what I think is probably going to happen is Guerreri and Walton will be co-defensive coordinators. All right, offensive line coach. I wish I had a great answer for you here. Now, it is interesting, Kevin Wilson's unemployed. He went to Tulsa for a couple years. They could bring Kevin Wilson in. Would he be okay with just being O-line coach? Perhaps. I think his son's got another year, Toby. And I'm sure I know him and Ryan Day are tight. If the money's right, why not? He wasn't a good head coach at all at Tulsa. It was very, very bad his 2 years, but he was good at Ohio State as an assistant coach. So I would be okay with Kevin Wilson coming back as O-line coach. They also have Tim Drevno on staff right now, who is basically the assistant O-line coach. He was technically an analyst, former Michigan offensive coordinator, former O-line coach at UCLA under Chip Kelly. So they could promote Tim Drevno. I've heard Charles Bentley. That would be awesome, but that's one of those that's like, do we really think Charles Bentley's would take the job? I mean, maybe. I would love that. I would love Charles Bentley. Then we'd have two coaches on staff, which is like, are you sure you're not one of the players? Because Carlos Loughlin, you got all these running backs that are jacked up, and he's the strongest one. Like Carlos Loughlin is just built out of brick, I think. So, Charles Bentley would be great, and I'm sure I'm leaving some guys out here, but those are some guys that I'm hearing.
Love it. And it does feel like either Charles Bentley or Kevin Wilson would be grand slam home run hires. Those would be spectacular. Justin Frye, kind of that interesting run here at Ohio State. Honestly, took a lot of heat for a long time. And then this last month, when Ohio State righted a lot of wrongs and the offensive line really came together, really kind of stepped up for Justin Frye. And he, of course, is going to the Cardinals as the offensive line coach. We are going to talk to our good friend Noah Kirk. He's visiting us here in studio. He is the sportsbook director of Hollywood Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. And I want to know the betting splits on the Super Bowl. Are more bets coming in on the Eagles or more bets coming in on the Chiefs? I want to know some of those most popular props that are out there. We're going to do that next. This is On the Money.
This is Hollywood Casino's On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Ohio's colleges and universities are welcoming spaces where people of all backgrounds and beliefs come together to share ideas and become stronger critical thinkers. We should celebrate the innovative work of our higher education faculty and their dedication to using their collective voices to create the best learning conditions possible.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
If you need health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Terrence and Jody when they got married, and Sophia when she had a baby, and Gary when he moved and needed new insurance. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to the show. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Cam Taylor. And right about now, our special guest live in the studio, Noah Kirk, director of the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
1 week away from the big game. We can call it the Super Bowl. Hey, sure. It's the Super Bowl. So we're going to call it the Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be out there for a special show at the casino. Then we're going to have a watch party. What's the first thing that comes to mind here that you want to share with the good people? Are the bets as robust as they were last year, for example?
Yeah, it's about the same, I would say. Not much action leading the first week leading in. We're going to see a lot more coming in this week. Chiefs are the play for everybody. Everybody's on the Chiefs going for the three-peat, and building off of the Ohio State win, we are going to lose even more money if the Chiefs win with all of the futures parlays with Ohio State, the Chiefs, and actually the Dodgers. I got a nice bet to share with you guys. It's going to be up on our X Twitter page, but we had a guest bet Ohio State to win, the Dodgers to win, and if Ludwig Bear wins if he wins the U.S. Open, this guy's going to win $185,000.
Oh, my goodness.
He's 1/3 of the way there, right?
Yes.
$700 bet.
Jeez.
$700. Okay, so it was Dodgers. No, Buckeyes. Chiefs.
No, not Chiefs.
No
Buckeyes,
Chiefs.
Dodgers, and Bear.
Dodgers to repeat, right?
No, they've already won.
Oh, so he already has Ohio State and the Dodgers. Now he needs Oberg.
Oh, it's hedge time, baby.
Oberg. That's his favorite. Is it Norwegian? Do I have that right?
Swedish?
I think he's Swedish, yeah.
Getting my Scandinavian countries mixed up.
Now, to give you a little, people don't want to hear this, but a little golfing scouting report. He's actually been bad the last couple of weeks. He's had an illness. So thankfully, he didn't take him for a tournament that's coming up real soon here because he's a little bit under the weather. But But
and he's got hedge possibilities.
Oberg at the U.S. Open for $100 and something thousand. That's the beauty, right? When you're putting together these futures parlays, and we got Noah Kirk, ESPN Bet Sportsbook, Hollywood Casino Columbus. And I've talked about this because a lot of the favorites are coming through winning championships, right?
Yes.
We saw the Dodgers. We saw the Celtics in the NBA this last year. We saw UConn basketball. We saw Ohio State, who is one of the favorites to win it all. So you're seeing these favorites come through. And one of the funny things, if you look at it as far as the NFL goes, if you go back over the last decade, Noah, and you look at the odds of where teams were at the start of the season that ended up winning the Super Bowl, you're seeing a lot of the favorites win the Super Bowl. Like, you're not seeing those long shots out of nowhere win it lately. So I'm curious, as far as running a sports book, how do you guard against like these favorite parlays? Because you can get massive numbers, and as you said, anybody who parlayed Ohio State to win the national championship with the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, you can have some big time liability with that.
Yeah, you see a lot of sports books limiting kind of the big futures bets, parlays, limiting the action. And it's a big point of contention. We don't really see it at the casino. Casinos are a bit different, but the standalone sports books are, you see that in the news. Won't go into details about it, but yeah, it's a big point of contention, especially with the professional bettors.
Okay, so Noah, we're obviously a week away, and a lot of the bets will come in on the Super Bowl here in the next few days. But I'm curious right now what we're seeing as far as the betting splits go so far for Chiefs, who are 1.5-point favorite, and the Eagles. What's the percentage bets that you're seeing one way or the other?
Still, the Chiefs are pretty favored as far as the bets go. About 75% are coming in on the Chiefs. What we're seeing is that the people who are betting the Eagles are betting the money line. They're not really taking the spread. They're just taking them to win outright. And then the over. Obviously, the over with the Eagles, this past Eagles game, it was huge scoring, and the Chiefs have the high-powered offense as well.
What percentage is on the over?
It was at about 65. Yep.
I would like to take the Eagles, but I was hoping it would be have a little bit more, I don't know. I was hoping it'd be like plus 150 or something like that, but it's not. It's almost like a pick 'em. What are some of the most popular prop bets that you see for the Super Bowl?
So really, it just sticks with the normal gamut of bets: touchdown score, player yardage, and we see a lot of people betting the halftime spread with the game spread. So nothing too exotic for us up there at the casino. We're kind of limited on our betting menu when you don't see the length of the national anthem. We do have the coin flip. A lot of people like that coin flip. They get that first bet out of the way real quick.
Yeah.
Get a little live betting money in their pocket. So
I like that, the idea of not necessarily the coin flip. I like spreading it out, like first score of the game, just so I have entertainment. Is the first score of the game going to be a field goal or a touchdown or a safety? That's always like they throw that in there too. I like to spread out first quarter, halftime. So like you have I love player props. All right, we're going to hear more from Noah Kirk, the director of the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino, next, right here on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Championship weekend in the NFL is here, and we love throwing watch parties at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Let's parlay incredible food, huge screens, prizes, and football together for the ultimate bet this weekend, and it'll be a winner. Join me, Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle from On the Money for a watch party at Hollywood Casino starting at 3 on Sunday. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Parlay it, baby.
Come cheer on the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team as they take on the Maryland Terrapins at the Shot on February 6th. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Beloved former basketball coach and educator Satch Sullinger knows you got to keep moving to stay healthy. But that's not so easy when your aching joints won't cooperate.
We still want to move and we still want to get around and we still want to be active, but we start to deteriorate the moment we quit moving.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help restore movement in stiff, aching knees, hips, shoulders, and back, using only your natural healing properties to help restore damaged joints. That's a huge positive for Satch.
It's working, and what I really like about it is there's nothing foreign put in my body. Everything that was put in my body has been taken from my body. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I want to live until the day I die.
Get rid of the pain and start moving again. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus and call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 208-4544. QC Kinetics.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
The New Year's celebration is come and gone, but my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin are still offering those great deals. Rich is sticking with rates starting as low as 0% and leases starting from only $249 a month. Test drive the Prologue, the new all-electric SUV from Honda. And how about the very popular CR-V LX all-wheel drive? A 25 lease is only $349 a month for 36 months with $19.99 down. See the dealer for all these amazing details. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
It is Hollywood Casinos on the money, and our friend from Hollywood Casino, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, Noah Kirk is here. He runs the show out there at the Sportsbook, does a fantastic job. We're going to have a huge watch party on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Come out. We're going to do a special gambling show and lead into a huge watch party. And look, we were out there last Sunday. We threw a party for that one. We were throwing footballs out at people. We loved it. And I got to tell you, Noah, what I loved even more was walking up to your sports betting counter there, placing my ticket down and seeing a bunch of hundreds coming right back at me.
Yeah. A lot of hundreds.
Woo! Paid in cash.
That was a good feeling. Now, I know people love to bet on the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app on your phone, right? You know, that it's fun to do. But there is nothing like having that paper ticket in your hand. It just feels right when when you have that in your hand and you walk up to the counter, it just feels so good.
You've always said that, and it's so true.
Yes.
It's so true. And by the way, I like the cash has made a comeback thanks to sports betting.
Right.
I mean, obviously, you can do it on your app. But, if you're at the casino, you're betting in cash. You can't even use correct me if I'm wrong, no, maybe it's changed. You can't even use a credit card at the kiosks, right?
No.
You have to use cash and at the desk as well, right?
Yes.
Cash has made a comeback.
Yes.
Cash is king.
And I love it. I've already stashed that little parlay cash in my wallet, and it's ready to go for next weekend. But I want to ask you this, Noah, because the bet that I won on was a same-game parlay. But we talk about this all the time. Sharp bettors in general, if you're doing this in the long run, do not do parlays. I'm curious, what percentage of the bets that you take at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook are parlays, and what percentage are just straight up bets?
A little less than half of our bets are parlays, normal parlays and same game parlays. About 40% of the wagers we take, they are popular. They're fun. I bet them. You know, when you can make multiple wagers across, say, 7 p.m. college basketball games, it's just a lot more fun. That's how I like to do it. That's how most people like to do it. So
okay, so the big money wagers that come into the casino, are they mostly straight bets?
Yes.
Or are they parlays?
Yeah, most of the larger wagers we see are straight bets.
Okay, what's the biggest? Now, you guys have been open. The Sportsbook's open, about a little over 2 years now. What is the biggest bet you guys have ever paid out in the two years? About 25 months you guys have been open?
Let's see. We had a baseball bet. Guy bet a straight bet, won about $175,000, I believe. It was on the Blue Jays.
Just a single game?
Single game.
Imagine having that kind of coin where you're dropping that on a single game. A single Major League Baseball game, dude.
It was
my
a sweat,
God.
Too. It was a sweat. He was in there hollering.
I think I remember you telling us about this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, what's the largest bet that you guys have taken, not necessarily paid out? Do you remember?
So what was it last week we were talking about? It was
350, wasn't it?
350.
350. That was Scotty,
Panthers,
wasn't it?
Eagles.
Woo! Scotty moving lines.
This is terrific. So, okay, I want to talk real briefly again, Noah, about the same game parlay, because I think that in general, most of the listeners that I talk to, that we go out to the casino and we talk about different bets that are make, almost everybody wants to bring up their slip with the same game parlay. So the same game parlay is kind of a relatively new thing in sports betting. Talk to me about like when that got started and when it really became popular.
So yeah, it didn't really get started until after 2018. I'm not sure if anybody in Vegas was offering it prior to the nationwide legalization. But even when it first rolled out, it was very, very limited as to what you could do. Now you have this whole robust menu. All operators are offering it. Sports same game parlays are calculated a little bit differently than regular parlays. Each operator has their own algorithm, how they calculate it, and the bets that are correlated. So, you know, when you're betting a football game and you bet anytime touchdown score, if you bet the over, it's going to pay a little bit less. But if you bet the under with a anytime touchdown score, it really jacks up the odds. So it's like a negative correlation there.
Yep, no, it makes sense. And it is a fun thing to do, and it's something that you and I are going to do next week.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do a lot of it. I can't wait. I'm going to do a ton of player props. As I said earlier, I'm going to do other stuff, mix it in so I have fun throughout the game. But I love the player props. I like moving the lines. I like the alternate, like, you know, receiving yards, for example, and bumping it up so you're getting like maybe 2-to-1 odds. I love those bets. It's going to be so much fun. You guys do a great job out there. It's spectacular. It's really cool. You have the ESPN Bet like signage out there. I know that's not new. That's been there for months, but it's I'm really happy for you guys. We're thrilled to be partners with you guys.
Well, and the cool thing too is like we're talking about like all the great things about betting wise, but and we're not kidding. You and I have a text thread where we talk about the steak. Like we love the steak at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. We think it's like the greatest value out there.
It's the secret menu though.
Yes.
You have to know. You have to know. If you know, you know. And we even talk about things like, rooftop parking is not open, because I have good luck when I park on the rooftop. Rooftop parking is closed. Like, I'm leaving. I'm not doing the show now. Yeah, we're insane.
Well, and I brought home. My mom was watching the kids during the national championship game. I was doing the watch party at the casino, and I brought home one of your guys' gigantic pretzels, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible!"
And so they come with the cheese, but you can get the caramel sauce, the chocolate sauce to go with it, the dessert. Ooh. And I'll tell you, my favorite thing at the casino, it's not in the sports book. It's at one of our other restaurants. We have baked potatoes, where you can just top it with fried chicken, bacon, cheese sauce, all these different things. Ooh. And they have funnel cake fries as well. So.
Okay, we're going to try that out.
Sounds like my type of baked potato. Like baked potatoes are healthy until I get my hands on them. I can make a salad unhealthy real quick. Oh, I love being out there.
We're going to try it out next Sunday. Next Sunday, join us, Super Bowl party, Hollywood Casino, Columbus. The ESPN Bet Sportsbook must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. When we come back, we're going to talk some Ohio State hoops. This is On the Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you.
Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke.
Well, it was a hard-fought campaign. Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia. Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch. Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now. Only at Great Lakes Kia. Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months. Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third row seating, don't we? And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke. Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia. But what about credit? Come on, man. If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day. Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
When was the last time you had your plumbing inspected? Small issues such as tiny leaks or old water heaters can quickly turn into big problems if they're not caught early. Take action with Logan Services and schedule a free winter plumbing safety inspection to help keep your home running smoothly. Schedule your free inspection now and experience the fast, friendly service you've come to expect from Logan Services.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and 7 weeks ago I decided to make a change, and now I'm down 37 pounds. Only 7 weeks to drop what probably took 5 years to put on. What's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180. I'm chasing Willie around like it's nothing, throwing him up in the air, running after the dog, all kinds of good things. Something that used to leave me gassed. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure that you can relate. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like it's slowing me down anymore. And those cravings that always got in my way, gone. Poof. What I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at The Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results. And more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach, Natalie, is the health guru. She helps me adjust to fit my crazy schedule from what to eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks. Just a plan straight up that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, take control with Awaken 180. It is the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Scotty, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Ohio State men's basketball. And we've been rooting for Jake. We like Jake Diebler. We want him to do well. We just want Ohio State basketball to do well. But it was like, oh, here we go again. We're doing the Vine update. And we text each other. Are they dead on the Vine? Like, yeah, they seem like they're pretty dead on the Vine when they lost to Indiana. And then what happens? They beat Purdue. Was it the day after the national championship game?
Yes, it was.
And it reminded me of like when Ohio State won the national championship 10 years ago and they came back and D'Angelo Russell and the boys, like the day after that title game, just ran a good Michigan team off the court. And D'Angelo Russell was like, yeah, watching our guys win the national championship in football inspired me. And I was like, heck yeah. So that Purdue game, if this gets turned around, and it already kind of has, they've won 3 straight, the Buckeyes have, and they play Illinois today. It's tough to win in Champaign, as we all know, at that little space mountain that they have there. Illinois is ranked 18th, but man, they're sitting there at 5-5 in the Big Ten right now. I believe if the tournament started, they would be in. But this would be a huge win today to go on the road, number 18 Illinois. 1:00 today, and if they can get this win, that would be huge. 4 in a row. I thought I was out, but they brought me back in, Scotty. They teased me. They got me again, Scotty.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an awesome little run here, right? Because you had 3 in a row that were devastating, right? Where you lost. You blew a lead against Oregon, and that was miserable. And then you lost one against Indiana that you had an opportunity. That was at home, and it looked like Ohio State was going to pull it out when they got it to overtime. They had a game where they were down big against Wisconsin, but ended up having a shot at the very end to win that game. So it was 3 tough losses in a row. And in the past seasons, they've let those losses kind of keep coming, right? You got to January, January under Chris Holtmann, and you just felt like Ohio State was going to lose a lot of games.
Kind of like what DePaul is doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. But then you pull off that win at Purdue, who at the time was a top 10 team. Purdue has looked good since, destroyed Michigan last week, beat Indiana this weekend as well. So that was a huge one. Then you got one against Iowa. But then during the week against Penn State, Ohio State was a 2.5-point underdog on the road at Penn State and didn't just win that game, won that game by 19 points. As a 2.5-point underdog, you win the game by 19. And here's the deal. They've had awesome second halves lately, Dave. So against Purdue in the second half, they outscored Purdue by 16 points. Against Iowa, they outscored Iowa by 13 points. And then against Penn State, they outscored them by 9 points in the second half. So they've been really good in the second half. I'll tell you this, Ohio State's a 5.5-point underdog against Illinois. I actually, and I'm not just saying this with my heart as a huge Buckeye basketball fan, I like taking the plus 5.5 a lot today. Illinois is a little banged up. Their 7-footer's been out for about a week or two, expected to miss again today. I like Ohio State at the plus 5.5 today.
How about Ivan? How do you pronounce his last name? The big 7-foot.
I just call him Big Ivan.
Okay, good. Let's just stick with Big Ivan. 7'1".
Yep.
I was thinking, okay, they might redshirt him this year barely. He's now getting the last game they had. Aaron Bradshaw 13 minutes, Sean Stewart 13 minutes, and Big Ivan 13 minutes.
Yes.
So they're like splitting it like equal. I know that was one game, but he's becoming effective. Bringing a big 7'1" guy, and he's just going to keep getting better and better and better throughout his career. He's just a freshman. I love that. Bradshaw sometimes looks like a fish out of water, and sometimes looks like an absolute force there for it. He had that one where he had the block, and then he ran the floor and then slammed it down. It's like, oh my God, that's the McDonald's All-American. That's how there's the talent. You see a 7'1" guy that can run like that. But then sometimes he just is out there. He's just like flailing around. You're like, what are you doing? He needs to add some muscle during the offseason. I know I'm not breaking news there. But I tell you what, man, they've got 4 good players with Bruce and Junie and Devin Royal. And I'll throw Parrish in there. Those 4 guys are good. And then they have some complementary pieces now. Again, here I was thinking, I'm not going to even get emotionally invested in this team. I just want them to make the tournament.
Yep.
And I think they will. We were texting about this. Like, you were saying, I just want them to make the tournament. I'm like, I think they will.
Well, and here's the great thing, because I think a lot of people think, okay, if they make the tournament, that's the goal. But this is a team now that has 2 huge wins away from Columbus, winning at Purdue and winning against Kentucky on a neutral court. All right. And they beat Kentucky by 20 points. So those are 2 of the biggest wins in college basketball, because when you're looking at it and you're kind of breaking down who's going to make the tournament, who's not, they look a lot at games away from home. Like, a lot of teams win games at home, but can you go on the road? And that's why today the opportunity at Illinois, top 25 team, is enormous. And I like what you said about how you got a really, really good core, because guess what? If you get into the NCAA tournament and you have a backcourt with the experience that Bruce Thornton has, with the shooting ability of Mobley, because look, Mobley can catch fire, right? Like, what he can do is spectacular. And you've got Parrish as well. You've got one of those backcourts that teams hate to face in March, right? You've got the experience, you've got the shooting, and you've got the defense with Parrish as well. So this could be a team that, if they could sneak their way into the tournament, could be a dangerous team.
And I know, like, Devin Royal is undersized for a power forward. I don't care if he doesn't play like he's 6'6". He plays bigger than that. He's tough, and he's got a good touch. I love it. Local kid, won a state title along with Sonny Styles at Pick Central, was Mr. Basketball in Ohio, and we're seeing him come of age. He had a decent true freshman season last season. Now, as a sophomore, has really come of age. All right, up next, we're going to talk some of our favorite Super Bowl prop bets. What are we looking at for next week's big game? That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Ohio's colleges and universities are welcoming spaces where people of all backgrounds and beliefs come together to share ideas and become stronger critical thinkers. We should celebrate the innovative work of our higher education faculty and their dedication to using their collective voices to create the best learning conditions possible.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
If you need health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Terrence and Jody when they got married, and Sophia when she had a baby, and Gary when he moved and needed new insurance. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, so Super Bowl props. I'm going to make way too many of them. I'm going to have fun. It's just one of those things, man. I'm not looking to like make a lot of money. I mean, it'd be great to make a lot of money, but also I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to lose a lot of them. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to make it probably a bunch of like $20 player prop bets, like a lot. And it'll probably, maybe knowing me, I'll like break even or something like that, or at least close. But, one that jumped out at me, and you of course, you had a great comeback, maybe is the wrong word. You weren't trying to be like a jerk, but I said, hey, I'm a little surprised we can get like plus money on Mahomes for MVP. You're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's not a lot of plus money, but plus 105 Mahomes MVP. That seems pretty good. What did you say?
Well, obviously, if Mahomes is going to win the MVP, the Chiefs are going to win the football game, right? And you can't parlay the Chiefs to win with Mahomes to win the MVP. They don't let you do it. It's too correlated. So my thought is just take the Chiefs to win. You're going to probably get about minus 115, minus 120 on the odds on that. And instead of making the risk of the Chiefs win and Kelsey is MVP or someone else is MVP, you might as well just take the minus 120 and take the Chiefs on the win rather than the Mahomes MVP bet.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. It makes a lot of sense. And then you're protecting yourself because obviously for Mahomes to get the MVP, the Chiefs have to win. Now you're protecting yourself. And there's a pretty good chance, obviously, that if the Chiefs win, Mahomes is going to be the MVP. But what if, one of their running backs goes off or Kelsey goes off or one of their receivers goes off? They could, it's hard to imagine them winning and Mahomes not getting it, but didn't they give it to Chris Jones one year? Or maybe that people were thinking they should. I think Mahomes maybe has won it every year. There was, I have to look this up. There was one year it was like, we sure Chris Jones? That's how good they are, man. You could probably pick 5 different MVPs from them. And a little malaise here with this being another Chiefs matchup with the Eagles, but that's where gambling comes into play. Like if the player prop things was funny to me too, Scotty. Way back in the day, wasn't the Super Bowl the only thing that we could do all these props?
Yeah.
That was one of the cool things about the Super Bowl was, you can do all these props. You can do props now for like a random like MLB game in June.
Yeah. You're right. State-Oakland matchup in college basketball. There's all kinds of props out there for it. Hey, I did one of the props that I was looking at for the Super Bowl is one that I will take advantage of, I believe, is Saquon Barkley rushing yards. Because I think everybody thinks, oh my gosh, Saquon's on this run. I'm absolutely taking him on the over. I'm actually going to go the under on this one. And here's the reason why. So Barkley had a rushing yard total last week of 130.5 in the conference championship game. It was the highest over-under rushing yard number I'd ever seen, 130.5. Ended up closing around 125. But he actually had a great game, played fantastic against the Commanders, but only rushed for 118 yards. So it ended up going under that total. Now, in the Super Bowl, his rushing line opened up at 110.5 and has been bet all the way up now to 115.5. So 115.5 rushing yards in the Super Bowl. How hard is that to do? Well, it hasn't been done since 2003, and that was Michael Pittman in 2003. That was the last time we saw a player rush for 120 rushing yards in the Super Bowl. So I know Barkley's special, and I know that there was a reason his running total is that high, but I'm going to go on the under because I think that number is just too inflated.
I still can't believe that in the same offseason, Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry just went to new teams, like in the, and really good teams.
Yeah.
I'm just flummoxed by that. As a Bengal fan, when I saw that Derrick Henry signed with the Ravens during the offseason, I was like, oh crap, that's not good. And it turns out it was not good for anybody except for the Ravens. All right, the first hour of the show is in the books. Stay tuned for the second hour, and we're going to take your calls. 614-821-9710. This is On the Money.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Ooh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Come cheer on the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team as they take on the Maryland Terrapins at the Shot on February 6th. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
At Logan Services, we know how important your home comfort is, and that's why we're proud to offer free HVAC inspections. Through our free inspection, you'll get a thorough assessment of your heating and cooling system to identify any potential issues that can impact your home, your energy bills, and even your health. The assessment is free and only takes an hour of your time. It's the fast, friendly service that you've come to expect from our team at Logan Services.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Get everything for your next project at Menards and save big money. We carry everything to help you breathe easier. Allergen air filters help prevent seasonal allergy symptoms and improve your indoor air quality by capturing microparticles while allowing maximum airflow. Save big on allergen air filters when you shop at Menards. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Cam Taylor. The OSU Buckeyes lost another assistant coach yesterday when it was announced that offensive line coach Justin Frye will be joining the Arizona Cardinals as their next offensive line coach. He will be reunited with former Buckeyes Marvis Harrison Jr. and Paris Johnson, currently on the Cardinals. The Cleveland Cavaliers will take on the Dallas Mavericks this afternoon at 3:30. The Cavs are currently on a 3-game winning streak. Speaking of the Mavs, last night, shortly after midnight, the Dallas Mavericks and Los Angeles Lakers agreed to a trade that will send Luka Doncic and 2 other players to the Lakers, and Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick to the Mavericks. Luka Doncic helped lead Dallas to the NBA Finals for the first time in 13 years last season. The OSU men's basketball team will face off against Illinois at 1 p.m. We will have pregame coverage starting at noon following the fan call-in show. And the Columbus Blue Jackets will take on the Dallas Stars tonight at 6 p.m. The CBJ have won 3 games in a row and 4 of their last 5.
Scotty's kids don't ask how his day was. They ask if all his bets won. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money, 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by my friend Scott Prokop. We like to call him Scotty Vegas. We have producer Cam Taylor at the controls. And we're going to hear from you this hour. 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. Do you want to talk about the Buckeyes? Do you want to talk about the Super Bowl? Do you want to talk about this Luka for Anthony Davis trade that I thought maybe was on the Onion when I saw that? Anything you guys want to talk about, we want to hear from you this hour, 614-821-9710. But before we get to that, it's time for the parlay party. Hit it, Cam.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Parlay parties where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice parlay that we hit. Could be, I don't know, the Buckeyes winning the national championship 13 days ago. Scotty Vegas, what are you celebrating, my friend?
Oh, I love that you just said that. 13 days ago, Ohio State wins the national championship. And today, you bring me confetti from that national championship game. I love it. I'm throwing it up in the air right now. It's a beautiful thing. You gave me a nice full jar of it. It's got 2025. It's got gold streamers. It's got a little red paper, a little white paper. This is fantastic. You gave me exactly what I wanted from Atlanta, which was confetti that fell on the floor when Ohio State won a natty. The other thing I'm celebrating is Ohio State hoops. 3 wins in a row. They've looked fantastic. Got that win on the road against Purdue. Got it done against Iowa. Won again on the road against Penn State. And now today they go back on the road. They're a 5.5-point underdog against Illinois. I like Ohio State plus the points today. I like it. A couple other things I'm celebrating. How about the Blue Jackets?
Yes.
Also 3 wins in a row. They're going to extra overtime a lot, but they're getting it done. They've got 3 in a row. And I'm also celebrating the fact that we've got these phone lines open up here on the Money, 614-821-9710. Dave, what are you celebrating on this wonderful Sunday?
Definitely still basking in the national championship glow. Buckeye fans, it's bask in it all off season. Bask in it. Yeah, you're going to care about this and that, but like rewatch the 4-game national championship run. Do whatever you want to do, but I recommend watching them in chronological order. Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame. It's fantastic. So I'm still celebrating the national championship. It's so damn hard to win one, and they won it in spectacular fashion. So definitely celebrating that. I'm celebrating that I'll be leaving in exactly 3 weeks from today. I'm making my maiden voyage to spring training to see my Reds down in Arizona. It's exactly 3 weeks from today. Furthermore, in exactly 2 months from today, Scotty, Ryan, and I are going down to see a Reds game.
Yes.
Now, have you been to Great American Ballpark?
I have, but it's been a long time.
Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to have a blast, so I'm really looking forward to that. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to – I'm also excited that we're going to hear from some callers this hour, 614-821-9710. So much to celebrate. And the CBJ, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's amazing what they're doing. I mean, Dean Evison better be Coach of the Year. And, Don Waddell, is it Waddell? Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing it. It's not Waddle. I think it's Waddell. The GM's doing a great job. I mean, these guys came in and completely have flipped this franchise around and give the players a lot of credit, too. But what the Blue Jackets are doing is incredible. They won 2 road games in overtime really on the same day because like when they were playing in Vegas, at least Eastern time, they were in Vegas, but they actually won past midnight, and then they beat Utah in overtime really the same day. So they won 2, and they've been fantastic at home this year. The Jackets have, but for them to do this on the road, it's so much fun. And this is just the beginning, my friends. They're not going anywhere. They've got a ton of young talent on this team, and they've got their head coach now. They've got their GM, and definitely celebrating the CBJ. Cam, what are you celebrating, my friend? Anything at all? He's taking calls. Cam is celebrating that he's taking calls.
All right, that's perfect.
That's perfect. I love it.
Okay, I want to talk about this, Dave, because you and I both have some big futures bets. My futures bet is Jeremiah Smith for the Heisman.
Yes.
Okay, I took that right after the national championship game. I got it at 18-1. It is now down to 12-1. I'm really excited about it. That's a future bet that I have. And then we were just talking about the Cincinnati Reds, and I love your text because just about every other day you text me like a little message like, oh, yeah, I just bet some more on the Reds over season win total. So tell me about that one because I'm excited about it, and you might have me on that train as well.
Okay, so they won 77 games last year, and everything went wrong. They had a terrible manager, in my opinion, David Bell, and they had a bunch of injuries. And they still won 77 games. So I'm thinking, then they hired Terry Francona, and that I was like, this is huge. I'm a believer that, yeah, I mean, some people say a manager doesn't make a difference in baseball. Maybe not every game, but like over 162 games, you better believe a future Hall of Fame manager makes a difference. So that's when I started to get intrigued when they hired Francona. And they haven't made any splashy moves, but they've made a series of good moves. And I was really like improving the club where they're not going to have like below replacement level players on the roster, which is huge. Again, nothing flashy, just a bunch of like good moves in my opinion. So I was really curious when the over-under came out. I'm thinking, okay, it's probably going to be right around 82.5. It should be like 84.5. But I told myself if it is like 82.5, I'm going to hit the over pretty hard. I'm pretty confident they're going to win 83 or more games this year. I'm not saying they're going to like win the Central. I think Cubs are rightfully the favorite. I don't think they have much chance of doing anything once they get to the playoffs. You never know once you get in. But powerhouses like the Braves and the Dodgers are going to be really tough to beat. But then it came out, Scotty, and it said 78.5. over under for the Reds. I had to clear my eyes. Like, is this real? They could go 79 and 83 and I win the bet. I'm like, all right. And I just happen to have a certain amount of money in my wallet. We were at the casino.
Yep.
It was an interesting amount that I put down. So then I've kept that as a theme. So now I've made several more of those bets with that exact same amount. And it's still it's last check at 78.5. Now the juice is going up. The VIG is going up, every time. It was a minus 110, then it was minus 118, then minus 126, but it stayed at 78.5. I think the real over-under should be like 84.5 for this team or 83.5. So I love the value of Reds over 78.5. And, I'm a realist with my teams. I am not one of these guys that's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to bet the house on the Bengals. No, I'm kind of the opposite. But, this to me, nothing is free money in gambling. Nothing is free money. To me, this is as close as it gets because I don't see them going 79 and 83. I think they're definitely going to be better than that. But if they are 79 and 83, you win the bet.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. We used to do a segment on this show, and we'll probably bring it back at some point, called Convince Me, in which we would always try and convince the producer of whatever topic we were arguing about. You convinced me. I am now on the train. I'm hopping aboard the Reds train, and I'm going to take the over with you. I'm in on that. So when we go to the casino next Sunday for the Super Bowl, I'm bringing you a little extra cash because I'm going to put it down on the Reds over. Now, I want to ask you this because I told you I did a little futures bet right after Ohio State won it all. I was like, okay, I'm going to take some of this and I want to invest it for next year. And what I did was I took Jeremiah Smith to win the Heisman Trophy because in my mind, at 18-1, with the name brand for Jeremiah Smith coming off the incredible run, right? Every college football fan knows him, right? And that is a huge part of winning the Heisman Trophy. And then the second thing is the opportunities. And Ohio State opens the season with Texas, all right? You're going to be starting a new quarterback for Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith, I think, has a great opportunity to get out of the gates. I know he didn't have a huge game against Texas or even a big game at all against Texas in the playoff. I think that's going to be extra motivation for him week one to come out strong. I have the 18-1. I feel good about it. Where are you as far as that bet?
I like it, and here's why. And before we hit the phone lines, I wanted to tell you this. in addition to you got the bet and then immediately goes to like 12-1, you got to be feeling good about that you got it locked in. What, 20-1? 18-1.
Yeah.
Still very good. So I'm reading a story on The Athletic. They had like all of their college football experts make all kinds of prognostications for next year's. Really good story. And they all voted. They got one vote. Who do you think is going to win the Heisman, right? Number one on the list, Jeremiah Smith.
Wow.
Now, there's like other guys on there as well, but I don't think people have asked me about Julian Saint. I don't think he made the cut on there, but yeah, number one on the list was Jeremiah Smith. All right, let's head out to the phone lines. Who we got, Cam? Who's up first?
Steven,
welcome to the show. How you doing, Steven?
Hey, good, buddy. Great show.
Steven, you're on.
Hey, listen, you guys have had discussion in the past about the lack of transparency when they're doing video replay. And right now, on CNBC for the next couple of weeks, the Six Nations rugby tournament is taking place. Now, when they do a replay, they do like a double box. They show the referee on the field who's mic'd, and then they show the replay official in the booth who's mic'd, but then they show the entire conversation as to why, the give and take as to why the decision will be made.
That's exactly what should happen in college football and the NFL. Thank you for that call. And by the way, we have a pro football league in this country that does that. What are they calling it now? Is it the UFL? It was when they combined the USFL with the XFL. I think it's the UFL. They do that. Dean Blandino, who does a lot of work with the NFL as well. I don't know why. Well, I know why. When people are covering things up, you don't probably have to like wonder why. Why is there not transparency? Because they don't want there to be transparency. It drives me crazy in college football. Thank God Ohio State actually went through a CFP where they didn't get screwed on a replay call. Like blew my mind. They had a holding call on the opposition against Notre Dame. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a team of destiny. All of a sudden now the opposition is getting called for holding. There's no terrible replay officials. I know. I don't understand why they don't do that. Again, I can't stress it enough. We have a pro football league that already does that shows you can hear all of the communications between the replay official, the lead official, the command center. I don't know, man.
Can I tell you, that was one of the best calls that we've had because, Steven, you are absolutely right. And I agree 100%. There's a few things in sports that I don't quite understand. One of them, I agree with you on the lack of transparency on the calls. The other thing, and this goes back to officiating as well. We're watching that Bills-Chiefs game, and it really comes down to Josh Allen on that 4th and 1. Did he get the first down or not? Humongous turning point in that game. We all know about that. And there's a lot of times around the goal line where, hey, did he cross the goal line? Was he in? Was he not? Why are we not using the technology that shows us whether they officially got the ball past the line?
Put a chip in the football. I've been saying this for 10 years.
It's unbelievable to me that in tennis, you and I love tennis.
Yes.
Okay. I go down to Cincinnati. You and I talk majors all the time in tennis.
All the time.
Yeah. And guess what? They have the technology that they can tell whether a tennis ball was in or out by a millimeter, right? And it's actually one of the most exciting things at the tennis match to sit there and watch the board and everybody's clapping, in or out. And, it was out by a millimeter, or, it was in by a centimeter. Like, it is, exciting to see.
It seriously is.
And some people say, what if it slows down the sport a little bit? No. In a big call, in a situation, whether it's a first down or a touchdown, we need the technology. And I would love to get to the situation where we're all looking at the scoreboard as, that ball was 2 inches short of the first down line, or, that ball did cross the goal line. It was a touchdown. It's absolutely ridiculous to me that in football we don't have that.
Andrew, stick on the line. We're going to get to you next on The Money.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow. Oh, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron. Superheroes!
I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmelt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be me.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you.
Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke.
Well, it was a hard-fought campaign.
Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia.
Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch.
Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now.
Only at Great Lakes Kia.
Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months.
Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third-row seating, don't we?
And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke.
Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Well, what about credit? Come on, man.
If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day.
Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com.
My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Layers, layers, and more layers to start off our morning. It will be a chilly start. However, even though we do have cloudy skies that will linger into the day, temperatures will be even warmer, getting up right around 50 degrees. Might have some isolated showers this afternoon, but they will be brief, mainly for our northern counties. And then for tonight, we'll see those lows dropping down right around 40. We'll be mostly cloudy to cloudy as we kick your Monday off, but how about this? Daytime highs up right around 60 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo.
Join Bobby Mack and Jody Shelley for the Inside Edge, a behind-the-scenes look at all things Blue Jackets.
Wednesday night at 7.
Your home for Jackets hockey, The Fan. Dave Biddle was caught trying to bet on office ping pong matchups. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. What a play.
This morning just keeps getting better and better. The morning starts with Dave bringing confetti from the national championship, handing it over to me, which I love. It's sitting right here, right by me. I think, you know what I might do? I might put a little bit of this confetti in my wallet so that the national championship confetti goes with me wherever I go.
I'm glad I got the extra, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it so much.
I was not expecting 3 different types of confetti.
Yeah.
We got it done.
So nice.
We got it done.
Gold, red, and then we got the footballs with the 2025 on it. It's a beautiful thing. The other thing that made me excited was listening to that weather report. 60 degrees coming up.
Let's go.
It's golf weather. All right, the other thing I'm excited about is we're taking your calls. It is 614-821-9710, and we're going to go out to the phone lines and talk to our friend Andrew. Andrew, welcome to On the Money.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
We're good, Andrew.
When I heard about that Luka Anthony Davis trade, I honestly thought that was a joke. When I saw it, I was like, wait,
I did too.
What?
Right.
Like, seriously.
I thought the exact same thing, man. I know it's Groundhog's Day, but I was like, is this April Fool's? Like, is this on The Onion? You know, and I guess when you read about it, it still doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense for the Lakers. Makes sense for the Lakers. The Mavs, I know they're saying that they were frustrated with his lack of conditioning. Okay. I don't know, man. He's only 25 years old.
Andrew, what's your take on it? Like, were you were obviously surprised. Now, do you believe the Lakers are a legit NBA championship contender now?
I would say yes, because now it won't be a power 3 of Luka, LeBron, and A. Davis now. But I think they have a chance of making the championship.
All right, yeah, good call, Andrew. And here's the deal. I will tell you odds-wise how this changed things. So this trade in the middle of the night, maybe you're just waking up and maybe you're listening to On the Money and you're just now hearing about it. But yeah, Luka is now a Laker and Anthony Davis is now with the Mavs. And here's the deal with it also is the odds to win the NBA championship for the Lakers went from 40-1 to now down to about 16-1 to win the NBA championship. I did a little parlay myself, which was Lakers and Duke. So, all right. Thank you so much, Andrew, for the call. We are now going to go out to Lonnie. Lonnie, welcome to On the Money.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I'm still glowing from the national championship. And, Dave, I've followed you and listened to you on The Fan. I know your disdain for Papa John's Pizza. But my question is, I'm a Bengals fan like you are, and what are we going to do with T. Higgins?
You know, the big guy wants him back, so that speaks volumes to me. If Joe Burrow wants him back, it seems like it's trending like he's going to come back. Now, I don't know, man. When I say trending, I'd still put it like maybe at 55%, but I think there's a better chance that they're going to get him back than let him walk, and they're not going to get nothing for him. If worst comes to worst, they'll tag him again, which they're allowed to do, and they'll trade him. His tag number would go up. It was like $21 million. It'd be like, I don't know, like $23.5 million, something like that, or $24 million. But they would do that. They wouldn't lose. They would make sure they got something for him. But Burrow wants him back. I don't know how you're going to, because now whatever you're paying Jamar Chase, that just went through the roof. Not a good move by the Bengals. Let him go out there and have the best season in franchise history for a wide receiver after they didn't give him what he wanted. Now that price went up. You're going to have to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in the same offseason when Joe Burrow is now making $275 million over his life of his contract. I don't know how they do this without restructuring Joe Burrow's contract. And Scotty, as we've talked about a lot, in addition to me not liking Papa John's Pizza, is the Bengals do not play that game. Now, they need to because good teams play that game. You know, they don't like having dead money in future seasons and reworking contracts. They just don't. They're not into it, but they need to get into it. Teams like the Eagles do it, and the Chiefs. What are they going to be playing for next Sunday?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the Bengals have the 17th pick in the draft this coming year, and I pulled up their odds because I was curious. Okay, if T. Higgins is gone, do you spend the pick 17 on a wide receiver? And so I decided to look up these odds, and right now, has the second best odds to be The Cincinnati Bengals pick.
Emeka Egbuka.
There you go.
The way you looked at me kind of gave it away.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen a mock draft that has him taking Luther Burden.
Yeah, he's on the list as well.
I would like. Now, I'm a BPA guy, period. Whoever the best player is, take him.
Yep.
But I want them to take a defensive lineman.
Yeah, well, actually, Emeka has the second best odds at plus 250. The favorite is Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, obviously a huge defensive tackle. So
I would love that.
Yeah. So that is your betting odds. But it is very interesting as far as what the Bengals are going to do this offseason. And I'm 100% with you. When Joe Burrow makes the comment like that, that makes you pause a little bit.
That's right. All right, let's head back out to the lines. Have we talked to Jimmy yet?
No, let's talk to Jimmy.
Let's talk to Jimmy. Welcome to the show, Jimmy. We got you, Jimmy.
I was just calling about a little OSU basketball.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
Scotty's. I'm happy too. Let's go.
I mean, the first thing I got to say is thank God for Niebler, because at least we're fun to watch again.
Yes, and I believe in him. And Scotty was saying something earlier about how they've been so good in the second half. To me, that's coaching. Just like we see in football. If guys making good halftime adjustments, they come out, you're like, oh, that's good football coaching. We're seeing good basketball coaching. Another thing, when they had that 3-game losing streak, easy for the season to go off the rails, but strong leader of men did not let that season go off the rails. Now they've won. They've responded with 3 straight wins. I really like Jake Diebler. Again, we'll see. We'll see. A lot of people are a little, wonder, okay, you fire Chris Holtmann, but then you replace him with the guy that was his top assistant. Like, really? But I like Jake Diebler.
Well, and Jimmy, huge one today, too. Ohio State at Illinois, and Ohio State's a 5.5-point underdog. But I'll tell you, I feel pretty good about the chances. Ohio State went on the road, won at Purdue. I feel like they're going to play very well. And, even in their losses, that loss to Oregon, to Wisconsin, to Indiana, they were right in these games at the end, Jimmy.
They were. It just seems like the last few years of Holtmann, the passion wasn't there. I guess that's the word I'm looking for from the players. To them, it was just a job they were doing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think there's a lot of blame to go around. And look, I was on board with getting rid of Holtmann a year before they did. But I'm glad that it got taken care of. And look, I know a lot of people are like, okay, Jake Diebler, no head coaching experience before this, young. It's kind of strange that Ohio State would promote from within from a program that was struggling like it was.
Right.
But I loved the hire at the time. And Jake Diebler, to me, I'm glad you brought this up, Jimmy, as far as the style of play, but they are a very fun team to watch. And I'm telling you, if they find a way to get into the tournament this year in March with the backcourt that they have, with Bruce Thornton, the experience that he has, the shooting percentage that he's putting up this year is terrific. He's a great leader. With Mobley, who, guys, he's going to be a superstar here. He really is. He's already kind of taken that next step. We saw him come out like gangbusters, got a little bit of slow, a little slow going there for a little while, but he's picked it back up. And by the way, Parrish, the last couple of weeks, Parrish has been playing awesome as well. So when you've got a backcourt like that with the experience that they have, they're a dangerous team in March, Dave.
One thing that they're proving, they are far from trash. But up next is That's Trash on the Money.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
for the big game with fan favorites like buy one, get one free, extra large avocados. Plus, buy 5, save $5 deals when you mix or match other go-to items like assorted varieties of DiGiorno frozen pizza, 24 packs of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable, and Sweet Baby Ray's marinade or sauce. Shopping at Meijer makes game day a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Scotty Vegas has his own cot in the casino. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Cam Taylor. All right, it's one of our favorite segments. It's called That's Trash. Oh, it looked like Michigan was going to try and play ball with the NCAA and try and settle. They're going to fight it. And they gave their response to the NCAA, and that was released earlier this week by Yahoo Sports. And I read this response, Scotty, and I'm wondering, what 8-year-old wrote this? It was like the most little kid logic I've ever seen in my life. It's because it's gone from, well, we didn't do it, to, okay, well, all right, we did it, but it didn't really matter. We only did it once. Well, we caught you doing it more than once. All right, well, we did it more than once, but it's not like anybody got hurt. Like, well, I don't know. You sent one person to the hospital. Oh, okay, it was just one person. I think she was kind of faking it, though. Like, it's like talking to a little kid and just hearing them, okay, I'm going to admit it, but then I'm going to talk it down. Then I'm going to deny this happened. All right, I'm going to admit it happened, but I'm going to completely, like, downplay. It's like, it was the most childish response I've ever seen in my life. And the NCAA, we'll see. They might be completely toothless now. We'll find out. But I tell you what, if they have any guts at all, I just don't think Michigan. I do not think Michigan's going to get the hammer. By that, I mean, I don't think they're going to get like all 3 seasons wiped off the books. The national championship's not going anywhere. The NCAA can't remove that. That's the CFP. But I do think something's going to happen. I don't think it's just going to be a slap on the wrist. But you guys, Michigan's juvenile response to the NCAA was trash.
So watching that AFC championship game last week, spectacular game, right? Like a lot of fun, back and forth, came down to the end. Awesome. We knew it would be going into it, and it was. It delivered. But the 4th and 1, where, again, the Bills try the tushy-pushy, and it does not work out. Now, of course, we have the replay, and I still believe that he had the first down, but that's not what's trash. To me, it's trash, and we talked about this earlier in the show. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we are not using the technology that the NFL has to determine if it's a first down on a big play or if it's a touchdown if a guy gets past the goal line. Like, we have the technology. Let's use it. Let's use it. We're watching it happen in tennis. I talked about how it's one of the most exciting things at a tennis match is watching the replay board say whether the ball is in by a centimeter or out by an inch. It's a blast to watch. Let's have the calls be correct in the NFL. I know they're talking about changing it up where, okay, you might be able to have replay on whether it's a face mask or not going forward, because guess what? They miss the call too often. Like, we need to use the technology to get the calls right, and the fact that we don't have it yet, Cam, that's trash.
Take out the trash.
All right. It didn't really even hit me till, I think, yesterday, but I was like, oh, man, this is our first weekend in like months without football. That's not good. And then we have the Super Bowl.
Trash.
That's complete trash. And we have the Super Bowl next week, and then we're just off. No football for a while. So, yeah, football's my favorite sport. I love all kinds of sports. Football's my favorite, and not having any football this weekend, that's trash.
When I'm dead, just throw me in the trash.
You know what we do have this weekend, though, Dave, is we've got golf. And I was watching, and again, I love golf, and I know, you know, it's a passionate sport to play for me, and it's a passionate sport to watch and bet. But here's the deal.
Can confirm.
It is so slow now. The slow play is just absolutely taking it over. I was watching the round yesterday with my father-in-law, and we're sitting there, and it is just taking forever in between shots. And I know it was windy, and I know it's Pebble Beach, and the weather's bad, but my gosh, we need to speed up this sport in an environment where we're all about like getting things done quicker now, like watching videos, like TikTok videos and Instagram videos, and you move on to the next one. You scroll. Things that are just happening so quick. A 5 or 6 hour round of golf, you're going to lose people, right? I mean, even the diehard fans are watching golf, but they're like, come on, hustle it up. So the fact that play has gotten as slow as it has, and the fact that now we have the LIV Tour and the PGA Tour, so we don't have the best players coming together and playing in the best tournaments, it's really frustrating. The world of professional golf right now is trash.
Okay, why just in sports do we obsess over how much money people make? Here's why I say that. I hear people say, well, coaches shouldn't be making like $10 million a year. And I understand the rationale there. Well, teachers are making this. How come coaches are making this? You could use all that for, okay, do we ever hear that about movie stars? Or TV stars. My go-to example, and I liked her show a lot. There's a reason she got paid a lot. My go-to is Judge Judy, I think, was making like, it was like over $50 million a year, I think, by the end. Maybe it was $60 million. You never hear anybody saying, well, how come Judge Judy can make $60 million a year, but teachers only make this much? You hear it all the time in sports, though, right? So Tom Cruise can make $100 million in a movie. That's okay, right? But I hear people complaining all the time. How come Ryan Day is he's the highest paid official in the state? Because that's the going rate. How come you don't complain about movie stars making this or TV stars making this? It's all entertainment. And I just find that to be trash.
That's why I don't read the newspaper, because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage.
All respect to Judge Judy, though. I love you, Judith. I don't want Judith yelling at me.
All right, so let's now, we're going to switch gears, talk a little college football. We're going to go back. I keep sitting here looking at this confetti, and it makes me so happy from that national championship
makes
game.
Me happy. That's making you happy.
Yeah, so let's look, Dave, going forward. Obviously, the big news over the last week, Jim Knowles leaving the defensive coordinator position here for going to Penn State. And now you have Justin Frye heading to the Cardinals to be the offensive line coach there in the NFL. So you got two big-time openings at Ohio State. I want to get your opinion on where we're headed in that direction, kind of some names, what you're hearing, what your thoughts are as far as what Ohio State does at those two positions. And are we sure that Chip Kelly is staying in Columbus?
I'm not sure about that because I definitely think that he's interested in going to the NFL and being an offensive coordinator. He was interested in that last offseason. Ohio State really got fortunate that he did not get the job with the Seahawks. He interviewed with the Seahawks, and I believe he was one of two finalists, and he did not get that job with the Seahawks. And that when Bill O'Brien then left after his one-day stay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, at Ohio State to take the head coaching job at Boston College, Chip was available because he didn't get the Seahawks job. So I think it's legit. The Texans, it seems like that could be a good fit for the Texans. I was surprised they fired their offensive coordinator. He was a hot commodity in 2023. Things change fast in football, man. The next year, the guy gets fired. It's like, whoa, he went from he's going to be a head coach to he got fired as offensive coordinator. So I could see Chip Kelly leaving, but I'm not sure about that. Hopefully he stays. Defensive coordinator, I know Ryan Day is considering different options here. He could bring in somebody from the outside, but it sounds like, Scotty, the most likely scenario is co-coordinators with Matt Guerrieri and Tim Walton. What Ryan Day said at the national championship celebration at the Horseshoe last Sunday just spoke volumes, saying Matt Guerrieri is a rising star in this profession, and he's one of the most brilliant minds in college football. I was like, damn, he's talking about his future defensive coordinator right there, isn't he? Seemed pretty obvious, but so we'll see. But I believe in Matt Guerrieri. People are like, promoting from within, come on. No, he's 35. He's the real deal. He's going to be a future head coach. So I think that's probably what's going to happen is Guerrieri and Tim Walton will have co-defensive coordinator duties, and they'll bring in somebody from the outside to maybe help out with the D-line or something else. James Laurinaitis will continue to have more of a bigger role. I love what he did with Cody Simon and the linebackers. O-line, coach, don't have a good feel for this. When somebody reached out to me from my site yesterday when this news broke, say, hey, do you want to get an O-line hot board together for the site? I'm like, I'd just be throwing crap against the wall. I can think like Kevin Wilson and Tim Drevno. I'm not really up to speed on the O-line coaches around our great country. But yeah, I mean, but the ones that came to mind immediately, Kevin Wilson, he obviously has a great relationship with Ryan Day, was a coach here. Son is still on the team. I believe Toby has another year. And Kevin Wilson is available. I think he's a really good assistant coach. Definitely was not a good head coach at Tulsa. That was a real tough place to win, Scotty, but still that went really, really bad at Tulsa. So Kevin Wilson's a possibility. They have Tim Drevno on staff right now, who was an analyst this year, but really was basically like the assistant offensive line coach. He's a former offensive coordinator at Michigan, of all places. He was with Chip Kelly at UCLA as offensive line coach. So if Ryan Day's happy with Drevno, they could just promote Drevno. And Chip Kelly's heavily involved with the offensive line, too, so getting him back would be huge. So,
and one other name, obviously, with Charles Bentley.
We did mention that earlier. I've heard people. Now, to me, I hope I'm wrong. To me, that seems like a pipe dream, but I would love that. I'm a big LeChuck fan. I also like when coaches look like they're even, that they're like, oh, God, is that guy a player? Like, no, he's not. He's just as stronger than all of the players. Like Carlos Laughlin, the running backs coach. I love that guy. I love Carlos Laughlin. Look what he did. I mean, he had talent to work with, but he turned Travion Henderson into like a good pass blocker in addition to everything else they're doing. So, and I think he's a really good recruiter. So I love these coaches that look like they're players. Laurinaitis is another one. So, yeah, LeChuck would be great. I would love to bring LeCharles home, but I don't know. That seems like a pipe dream to me.
It does feel like him or Kevin Wilson would feel like grand slam home run hires if you can make it happen. Now, again, Ohio State is the betting favorite going into the season next year. They are plus 450 to win it all. Texas, who, of course, Ohio State plays in the very first game, they have the second best odds. They're 5-1. Georgia, 6-1. Oregon, plus 750. And Penn State, plus 750. That, of course, is at the Hollywood Casino ESPN Bet Sportsbook, your odds for the national championship next year.
Oh, I can't wait. We're going to be out there, our home away from home. I made a quick jaunt over. That was like my quickest. Well, no, that's not true, because when I went there to get your Christmas gifts, I wasn't there for very long. And rooftop parking was open, which I was like, okay, these bets will cash. And they did. So it was either my shortest trip to this casino, or second, because all I did is went in there and made bets on the Reds. And I texted you and Ryan just to be sure. I might make a quick jaunt out to the casino if you guys want to join me. And you responded right away. I kind of probably should stay away from there. I've been like sleeping there every night. And then Ryan's like, yeah, I can't make it there tonight. So I just went out there and made a couple quick bets on my Reds on the over of 78.5 wins. But I love that bet, man. Ryan's not on board with it. He's a pessimistic red leg.
Yeah, he's always kind of like that, though. Right, he's always a little cranky, right? So he's always kind of negative on his team. I'm going to hop on it with you. So we're going to do the watch party at the casino next weekend for the Super Bowl. I'm going to bring my money. I'm going to throw it in that kiosk, the same kiosk that helped me win $1,000 last week. I'm putting it in because I'm superstitious. I'm going to that same one, and I'm going to place it on your Reds at over 78.5 wins this coming year. I'm on board with you, and we're on board with throwing a massive watch party because, right, you get to come out. We're going to do a betting show next Sunday, and then we're going to throw a party. We might even have a little coin toss tournament so you can win major prizes. Ooh. Join us out at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Our watch parties are so much fun. We just have a blast, and you guys,
they pay us for it too. Unbelievable.
And you guys can win free prizes, like really cool prizes. We were out there for the NFC Championship game, had a watch party, and Scotty brought the Scoop and Sawyer shirts out there. I mean, everybody was like begging for one, and our arms got tired. Typically, when we're doing these watch parties, like they're not setting like scoring records. It's like the Saquon Barkley ball, I think, got recycled like 3 different times. Jalen Hurts. We kept throwing out these footballs because if your guy scores a touchdown, you bring the football up and you get a prize. It's as simple as that. And then we throw the football back out in case that guy scores another touchdown. Well, the Eagles just kept scoring, so I had to ice my arm down the next day.
Well, and I had to tell Chris Hollywood, hey, you're going to have to go back and get some more gift cards because because we just keep seeing touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, and all these player props. I was talking to Noah about this. Like, the casino had a tough day on that day because, number one, almost everybody bet the Chiefs, so the Chiefs won. And then the other thing is all these player props were coming through in that Eagles-Commanders game. So anybody who was out doing player prop parlays, those were cashing because it was such a high-scoring game.
Such as A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Over. I moved that one to like over 80 because I think it was like 60. And yeah, if you had exactly. And I moved that A.J. Brown to like over 80. I love moving those. I'm going to do that a lot next week when we can get into that next. Kind of like our betting strategy for the Super Bowl next week. Scotty and I will get into that next on The Money.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on The Fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and The Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Bets are us. When dreams don't get in, bets are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bets are us. When dreams don't get in, bets are us.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with savings with new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items like pineapples, avocados, navel oranges, and lettuce at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. D. Biddle's favorite kind of psychology is reverse psychology. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. What a play.
Scotty, did you see this Matt Rule story? So Nebraska is not going to have a spring game because he doesn't want his guys to get poached.
Yep.
He thinks last year because they had the spring game and other teams watched it and they were like, oh, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that guy. Okay, so I understand this from Matt Rule's perspective. But if you're one of his players or you think, wait, dude, what are you doing here? Like, so we're not having a spring game because you're trying to, like, make sure that I don't transfer? Like, it's kind of, I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, I know. It kind of goes both ways, right? Like, the players maybe want to be on display. But, and again, the other thing you think about is, you know, there's generally with these spring games, there's generally a fundraiser tickets that go to either an athletic department or a collective or stuff like that. At Ohio State, you think about it like I don't think that Ryan Day, even if you had the thought process of, oh, we don't want to put our guys on display, it's a bigger thing because it gets your fan base an opportunity to get out to a game that might not always be able to afford it, right? And a lot of times the spring game, you bring more kids out to it, and so like
and for them, it's like a regular Ohio State game if you're a little kid.
Yeah,
it's great for families. I always say that. Yes.
So I get not wanting to put your guys on display, and maybe you change things up. Maybe you make it more of like a scrimmage and not a full-on game, but to completely get rid of it, that's wild to me.
I want to get into a conversation. Ryan Baker heard what we were talking about putting the chip in the football and, comparing it to, tennis with the technology they have. There's got to be a better way than doing the same technology we've been doing since like the 40s with the chain gang. But Ryan made a good point. If you put a chip in the football, you'd have to put multiple chips in the football, have a sensor that went all the way around the football. And that's a good point. But I got to think in the year 2025, it wouldn't be that difficult to do.
Yeah, look, I don't completely understand how the technology would work, but the technology has got to be there, right? I mean, we have self-driving cars. We can do all kinds of incredible things, but we can't figure out the technology of did this football cross this line or not? To me, that's ridiculous.
There's got to be a way to do it. There has to be. And maybe it's not as simple as just putting a chip in the football, because Ryan was saying people talk about this in hockey all the time about putting a chip in the puck. And he's like, well, it's not as simple as that. You have to put it throughout the puck. I get that, but we see it, and I know it's not the same thing as tennis, but tennis and baseball are the parallels for me. It's like, why don't they do that in baseball, with the balls and strikes? They definitely have the technology for it. That's the same thing as tennis, really, if you're talking about balls and strikes. And you're right, the tennis thing, it makes it more exciting, even if you're watching on TV, especially if you're at a tennis match. But even if you're watching on TV, because they go a little zoom in, a little bit more with each screen, and everybody's like, ooh, and the clapping, it makes it fun. And sometimes the ball is like a millimeter out or a millimeter in, barely getting the line. I don't know why they don't do that in baseball.
Okay, and the other thing is, I love your point. The other thing is in golf. Okay, so you see a guy hit a drive, and within about 15 seconds of the drive being finishing up, you have the shot link that'll tell you exactly how far that drive went. And it literally takes about 5 seconds before you know it. And then you can in your app, it'll tell you, okay, drive went to the primary rough 306 yards, and he is now 104 yards to the pin. We know that almost instantaneously in golf. So how do we not have the technology in football? It makes no sense. The lack of technology of whether it's a first down or whether it's a touchdown, I don't get it at all.
It's one of those things where I don't know, pick a year, let's say 20 years from now, 15 years from now, people are going to look back and they're relatively new football fans are going to be like, they were seriously still using the chain gang in the year 2025?
Right.
Yeah, that's how they measure first downs. Yeah.
Well, here's the funny thing, too. Dave, I was watching a game, and I don't know exactly what year it was, but they didn't have the yellow first down line. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, how did people function watching these games? And it had to have been a mid-90s game. I think it was like a 95, 96, somewhere in that territory that I was watching. But I'm like, oh, my gosh, how do you know if it's a first down or not? It's crazy to me, the fact that, we have not evolved and the technology is fantastic. I get it. But the fact that we haven't evolved to the point where we know whether that crossed the line or not is ridiculous.
That is one of the best inventions, not in just football, but in the history of mankind.
the first down.
Yeah. Football
line
is just me. I like watching. There's certain things watching football in person that you cannot get on TV, like watching passing plays develop, things that are going on during the break where you can watch, interactions on the sidelines. There's all kinds of cool things about being at a football game. The atmosphere can't be beat. But actually watching the game, I see the game better on TV.
Yes.
Football was made for TV, and that was an outstanding invention. I love how they always couch it with, now it's not official. Okay, but it's 100% of games I've watched. It's always been right.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the environment, at the shoe and being at a big game, you can't match that, right? But you're right. As far as watching a game or listening to a game, game, like it is, you can get a lot more out of it, and it's getting even more and more enjoyable. So the one thing I want to get to now is the Super Bowl betting.
Yes.
And kind of where you lean, because gosh, all week this week I was like, all right, how do I figure out exactly what bets I want to make on this one? I don't have a strong lean one way or the other on the side on Eagles or Chiefs. I look at all of the stats on Mahomes, and they just are so eye-popping to you. Like, as an underdog or only a 3-point favorite or less, Patrick Mahomes is 8-0 in the playoffs.
Pretty good.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And there's just stat after stat after stat that tells you if you're betting against Mahomes, you're an idiot, right? Like every trend, everything in history with Mahomes says bet the Kansas City Chiefs. But I still feel like with Saquon and Hurts and Brown, like I feel like this Eagles team is as talented. So I'm kind of staying away from a side on this one. I'm looking more at props and totals. What about you?
I'm definitely going to be leaning in hard on player props for sure, and some other fun stuff like maybe like first score of the game. I like spreading it out so there's something interesting like every quarter for me, and then player props are just something that go progressively throughout the game. Although you could just do first quarter player props, but I'll be heavy on the player props. Here's the thing about the game itself: if I did bet on one or the other, it would be Chiefs money line. Here's why. I think overall maybe the Eagles have. Overall, though it's close. I've heard people say the Eagles definitely have the best roster. It's like, okay, it's pretty damn close, but I would agree that the Eagles probably have a little bit better of a roster. But as good as Jalen Hurts is, he's not Patrick Mahomes. And Nick Sirianni, obviously a good head coach. He's gone to 2 Super Bowls now. He's not Andy Reid.
Yeah.
So, and I like the Chiefs D coordinator too, with Spagnuolo. So, coaching is huge in football. Coaching is huge in any sport. Coaching matters more in football than any other sport, in my opinion. It's the old, I can take my guys and beat your guys, or I can take your guys and beat my guys. Yeah. I love that, like that old school, like coaching.
Well, it just feels, phrase. Dave, like how are you, like for anybody who's betting the Eagles out there, and head coach and quarterback, right? Huge advantage for the Chiefs in both. Right, I feel like. I know Hurts is good. Like, he's a good quarterback, but you're talking about one of the all-time greats now in Mahomes in his prime. And so, gosh, it's just so hard for me to get to the side of not betting the Chiefs. And I think I will. That's probably the side I'll lean.
Yeah. And I have a little malaise, too. So I thank God for sports gambling. I have a little malaise with the Chiefs and Eagles again. Eagles, Chiefs. Although, seeing a dynasty is, we'll look back on that. It was... Not that I'm a Chiefs fan or anything, but I don't hate the Chiefs, even though they've ruined a couple Bengals seasons. But the Bengals ruined one of their seasons, so it's all good.
Taking the betting out of it, who are you wanting to win? Do you want to see 3 in a row, or do you want to see the Eagles win it?
I probably would rather see the Eagles win it. Yeah. I don't really care that much, though. So
taking betting out of it, I would rather see the history in the 3-peat.
Okay. That was our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us for Scotty Vegas and Cam Taylor. I am Dave Biddle. Don't go anywhere. Up next is the Fan Collins Show with Scotty and Ryan. This has been On the Money.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron.
Superheroes! I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial